guys, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how I made the main sound in my new song called Mind. It's this sound I'm talking about. Okay, so here's the Serum patch. 2 sine waves, FM from B. There's also noise oscillator. LFO1 goes to level of the noise. FM from B, level of oscillator A and B. Cutoff on this high pass filter, but it only works on noise. Pay attention to this. So there's no low frequencies on the noise. Then it goes to phaser, frequency on the EQ, and mix on this hard clip distortion. When it comes to FXs, there is tiny bit of dimension expander and hyper, like 7%, 8% of these guys. We have this phaser, but yeah, just a little bit. Low cut filter with this big resonance right here to make some nice movement. And then we have distortion at the end. And that's it when it comes to Serum. Now, other plugins I used are this compressor from Isotope Ozone, then OTT, 27%. Remember that when it comes to like this deep dubstep kind of sounds, you don't want too much OTT because it brings out a lot of high end, and you want them to kind of still sound deep and not over compressed. Then there is this EQ, which is really important because this cut right here on 539 Hz really makes the sound much cleaner. And there's a little bit of boost on 1K, and I obviously removed the low frequencies on 186 Hz because there's separate sub. And then we have Reverb, Valhalla Room, just a tiny space to make it like less claustrophobic. Then we have Ozone Exciter. Yeah, this tube goes to high frequencies and a bit of tape on the mids. Then we have another EQ, cutting the lows again. Yeah, I just like to clean things up at the end of the chain. And I removed tiny bit of this 241 Hz because that's the resonance frequency, just to make it a bit cleaner. And there is this tiny shelf which I like to add at the end of the chain as well. Just 1 dB or like 2 dBs of this high shelf really make the difference when you add it on your main sounds. And then at the end there is another exciter with this warm setting from 2K to 7K. Yeah, just a bit. I like these tiny touches of exciter, of distortion, and all this stuff. Not like 100%, just a tiny bit, and like stack them up to make the sound. And then at the end, super important thing, utility with gain automation, just volume automation, okay? It's super important to do this at the end of your chain, because if you remove it, then it sounds like this. So a lot of clicks, unwanted little artifacts. You can try to avoid this in Serum, but you know, when you add OTT, compressor, all this stuff, like these little clicks will become just loud, you know? So I just like to clean it up at the end because it sounds so much better and the rhythm is so much cleaner with the volume automation. Yeah. And when it comes to this sound, you need to layer it with separate sub, obviously. This is my sub. Yeah, really low sub. Just a sine wave, nothing fancy. I'm cutting it at 85 Hz, so it's really deep, really powerful too, because if you don't have any harmonics, any like higher sounds, then you can push your sub a lot louder in the mastering. And I also added this volume automation to make it all move together, like the main sound. They are like one family, so together they just sound much fuller. And yeah, that's it when it comes to this sound. I hope you guys liked this tutorial and see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.